Hello again, welcome back to Illegally Cited. This is BGFH, back for another Low Vision Spotlight iOS video. Today, I'm going to show you a game called Real Racing 3. This is a game I discovered a few weeks ago now. I was actually, on an earlier video I had said that I was giving my old iPad 2 to my parents when I did when I went home a few weeks ago, and I was trying to find a few free games that my parents would play. My dad likes racing games and kind of old classic Atari style games like, Asteroids and Space Invaders and things like that. And one of them that I found for them was this Real Racing 3. I had never played it before. And, they tried it a little bit, and I tried it at home, and I actually kind of ended up getting into it. There are things that I really like, and there are things that really frustrate me about this game. So I do have a few things to say about it. Let's jump right in. EA, of course. I'm not sure how well this is going to capture because there is a lot of movement on this game, so it's, you're racing, so the frame rate is really important. Let me move my mouse out of the way. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, upgrade complete. Fantastic. And we do have audio going through the AirPlay, so you will hear the game in-game audio directly through the video and not through the speakers. So, Real Racing 3. This is a free-to-play racing game made by EA, and like I said, there's a lot that I like about it. Graphically, it's very good, actually quite impressive. The gameplay is fun and can be customized based on do you want it more arcadey? Do you want it more simulation like? You can customize that. I've never been good at simulation games, so I stick more to the arcade style. So the interface is pretty much just a whole touch-based, or like a swipe with one finger. This is not a voice-over accessible game, obviously. Really highly graphical, but like I said, it's actually quite good. So I haven't really played with much of the online stuff. I think I poked at it briefly one day, and I ran out of time when I was home. I was going to set it up so that my dad and I could try to play head-to-head with our iPads, but I just never got it. I never had the time to set it up. So let's jump into career mode. And I'll kind of explain to you some of the interface and the mechanics and the menus and what I do and don't like about it. So the racing itself is fine, and I'll go into a race or two just to show you how that works. But the whole interface here, when we go into career, we start here. This big tile in the middle of the screen, this wide tile, is your first set of career events. As you earn first place, second place, or third place, but you really want to get first, obviously. As you earn these cups or medals, you unlock kind of these little kind of alternate events down here on the bottom, and you have to unlock these other events too. So if I keep swiping to the right, I've unlocked a fair number of them, and notice on the bottom, each one of these do have their own kind of set of sub-tiered events as well. So this is the latest one I've unlocked, so I've gotten partway through these, not very far. I still need 4 more medals to get the one on the bottom right unlocked. And over here, I still need a lot more medals before I even think about unlocking this. And if you're looking for a game that has a lot of content, there's a boatload of it here. There are tons and tons of races. Holy crap. Yeah. So I've played this, a fair amount, and okay, that's the end of it. So, like I said, just look at how many of these events there are. And when I go into each one, I'll go into an event where I've actually unlocked everything. So if I go, let's say here, to the first cup. If I slide way over, okay, I'm just going to slide all the way to the left. See, like I said, there's so many events. And I'll kind of say, okay, so here's your basic information there. And in this game, you have all kinds of different events. You have cups, which is like a standard race. You have these speed trials. Basically, there are a few different types of speed events where you're trying to race the clock. Then there are like time trials. There's head-to-head races, drag races, endurance. You just kind of get to see some of the events here. These are special events where you're basically going for time. The time trials there. Another head-to-head race. So you get a lot of different types here. I'm going to look for a drag race. Here we go. This is a quick one. I'll be able to show you how this works. Okay, so I tap on that event. Now I can choose a car that I have unlocked. So all these, this is the first car that you get when you start the game. And just like everything else, you have to earn in-game cash to unlock new vehicles. And I can swipe here. Now, on the bottom, I have a few other options that I can do. In the lower left, I can repair my vehicle. We've got a meter there. This vehicle is fine. I haven't raced with it in a while, so it's perfectly good. But there's a button to the right of the meter there that I could hit should it need any repairs. Next to that, in the lower left, I can upgrade. So each car has different upgrades that you can get in different categories. So like engine, I've upgraded this one all the way. I'll show you some other ones where they're not upgraded, just so you can see. And the back is in the upper left-hand corner of the screen, if you have trouble seeing that. Let's go back again, and let's do the drag race. So this one, I really highly rely on audio. Actually, let's hire a crew member here on the right-hand side. This guy's free, so sure, why not? Let's hire him. Why not? And let's do a drag race. So in the bottom right corner, we have race. It fades in, and again, I'm hoping that the frame rate is going to be halfway decent. I apologize if it's really bad or if it's really framey, but we get a little splash screen here, a little intro to our events, and we can tap to skip all this, but I'm just letting you see it. So this is a mechanic that's going to work a little differently than most races. I'm showing you something a little bit different first because it's shorter. Here we go. Now I'm racing in first person here. I'll explain more in a minute. Oh shit. I'm going to lose this race because I was talking. No, I'm actually early. I shifted too late. Okay, I'm good. You win! Or I won. Okay. I'm getting some weird audio hiccups with this, so again, I apologize. So we have to win 3 races to win the event. The way this works is I have to tap the start button to go and then to shift. Okay. I'm listening for audio cues. Oh, I did that way early. Early again. Ugh. I do usually do better than this, but it's giving you feedback on when you tap the screen how early or how late, or if you do a perfect shift. And you really want to optimize that because there are drag races later on where you have to be right on the money, because if you don't get that quick start, you're going to get blown away. So steering really doesn't come into play. This is the simplest game type there is the drag. But it's still very challenging. And if you tap before it turns green, oh come on. Oh my god. I tapped it and it didn't register. Shit, I'm gonna lose this one. Alright, let's retry. Alright. So if you tap too early, you get disqualified. So you gotta be very careful about that. Oh, come on. I think I'm getting some capture lag because, oh my god. Come on! It's not registering my shifting. I wonder if steering is going to be really bad. I'll give it one more shot, and if not, I'll just deal with second. Let's give this one more shot. Shift! That first shift, it just will not... It would not register. I'm like, you can probably hear me tapping on the damn thing. Well, I lose. We're going to get second. But for the sake of the video, or the speed, we're just going to move on. I don't know. It's got to be some lag because it just was not registering well at all. So that is a drag race. Now I'm going to show you more of a traditional style. And before I do that, so if my vehicle takes any damage, you see that meter drop there. I'm given the chance to repair. It's not damaged very much, so I'm just going to leave it for now. I can make any upgrades with any money that I've earned thus far. Now I'm going to jump into one of the later cups, into something that I haven't placed first in, and hopefully we'll be able to do something good with that. So let's back out of this first event class, and I'm going to go... Okay, I'm going to show you a part of this game that really annoys me. So you have two different types of currency. Up in the upper right-hand corner, you have basically your gold, which I have like 43,000 plus there. And then I have these metals. And the metals are really meant for, like, you can use them to speed things up. Like if you are in a repair, you know, it's like any free-to-play game. It's all time-based. So, you know, I choose to repair, I choose to upgrade my vehicle, and it'll give me a time frame. So like, oh, okay, this repair might take 20 minutes. This upgrade might take an hour. This new car delivery might take 6 hours once I buy it. So all those things are tied to a time-based thing, and you use those metals to kind of speed those things along. However, I would highly not recommend that you do that and just wait and play with other vehicles that you have in your garage. Because when I got to, I think it's this cup. Let me just go into one of these events here. Yes. When I got into this, so all these other cars here that I've unlocked were unlocked with the cash that I've earned. So the other number, the 43,000 I've got in the corner there. But this doozy vehicle right here, it didn't unlock via cash. I had to unlock it with metals, and it was like 180 of the little buggers. Which, if you're at all regularly spending those to speed up repairs or upgrade costs or upgrade times, you're not going to have near enough, and you're going to have to pay real world money or wait and hope you can win enough other events to level up and to get enough of those metals or those little the currency in order to upgrade that. And I'm going to do the upgrade thing here just to show you the interface for that. So when I don't have something all the way upgraded, here's what I get. I don't have near enough cash to upgrade, and I don't have any of those gold or the metal thing. Well, I could do that upgrade, but I would not recommend doing that. I always do the cash ones first to do all those, because cash is a little bit easier to earn, and it replenishes a little bit easier when you start winning events. And then if eventually, a lot of times the little cash one will go away, and you'll be left with the little lower right hand corner one, and you can do one final upgrade with the little medals or whatever you want to call them. And so that's what I generally recommend. I don't use those unless I absolutely have to. So same here, I could do upgrades. So that car I really have not fully upgraded at all. I need a lot more resources for. Come on. Okay, let's see if I can upgrade this one. Or I think I may have just finished this. Yeah. I think I just recently finished upgrading this car. Let's go back because let's go back to a different cup. I want to go use one of my new cars that I just unlocked recently. Okay. Let's do this speed course here. And I don't remember. Okay, good. We're at full repair. And so let's just race. So most races are not like drags. Most of them you are actually racing. And you have all kinds of different options, like how simulation do you want it to be? Do you want to do manual shifting? Do you want to do manual acceleration? How do you want to steer with on-screen controls or by tilt? All those different types of things you can customize. Again, I've left it very basic, very standard, because I'm just using this again. I'll listen to like a podcast or an audiobook and just race in the background or something, just to have something else to do. Mine, it's just gonna, when you start out the game, it starts out very simple, where you can just, it kind of does a lot of the gas and acceleration automatically, and you just steer it. And normally I wouldn't want it that simple, but when you are on a touchscreen interface, I hate virtual buttons for the most part. And so I really don't like to have to deal with many on-screen controls. So it's giving us a little, I mean, the graphics on this are very, very good. You notice the in-cockpit view. That's how it starts out automatically, and I chose to switch to this hood cam. Basically, there's definitely, oh boy, this is going to be fun. There's definitely some input lag since I'm trying to do this over AirPlay. I can definitely tell I got to be even more fidgety or very, very careful when I steer. So hopefully this will go halfway decently. And right now I'm tilting the screen left or right to steer. Ouch. I don't like those audio crackles or those weird glitches, but I'm trying to catch up to that little marker ahead of me. I want to catch up to as many of them as I can to earn a higher rank. But I mean, the graphics, I mean, even like if you have a chance to kind of look at the hood of my car, as I pass different lighting, as I pass objects, you see real-time reflections in them. It's actually I'm running this on the iPad Air, and it's a beautiful looking game. Oh, crud. Okay, there we go. Yeah, it's a great looking game. I turned the music off. It's a lot of techno-y music, so I really didn't care for that. But it's nice to hear the car noises. I like that. And especially in the drag races, it's especially useful. I don't think I'm going to catch this stupid thing. Come on. Oh, yeah, I did. Sweet. Oh, man, I caught it. What place did I get, though? Third. Hey, I got a medal. All right. I don't remember if I had placed in that or if it was or not before. Let's continue. Took a little damage. All right. Back to the main menu here. Maybe I'll do one actual race. All right. All right, I've unlocked some more events in this overall cup. Earned some extra cash. Not bad at all. Let's do a cup, because I'll do an actual race. Now, this is going to be really interesting because with the input lag and, you know, the difficulty, it's getting harder. The game itself is getting harder. As you're going to tell pretty soon, I played dirty when I play these races because the AI in this game, sometimes you get it to behave nicely, and sometimes they're just complete dicks. They will run, you'll be taking a perfectly good pass. They'll run you off the road, make you spin out. They're really aggressive. Oh, sometimes. So, yeah, I cut across. See, yeah, that guy, I don't know what he was doing. He was like turning right into the side of me. I'll take take the outside. Full contact auto racing, guys. That's right. You don't fuck with me, man. I'll run you off the road. And you don't get DQ'd for doing it, so hey, if they're going to play that way, I'm going to play that way too. There are those white time trial events that you saw on the event screen where you're racing the clock. Those are a little different because all the other races you can pretty much just follow the track, and if you accidentally go off a little bit, you're okay. The white time trial cards there, they will... Dude, what the hell? Okay, that's just rammed right into me and cut me off. Prick. But they will... You cannot go off the road at all, otherwise you're DQ'd. So if a tire goes outside of the white lines, you're automatically disqualified and you lose the match. So you got to be very careful on those. As far as being low vision and being able to play this game, some of the little buttons and stuff took me a little while to see, okay, but once I got to know where things were and could read things, it wasn't too bad. Some of the text can be a little bit small, especially on some of the little pop-ups that come up, or little tabs that you can pull out. But overall, I mean, in the racing itself, 9 times out of 10, I don't have a problem with it at all. There are a couple of tracks, one track in particular that you mainly race during the day, but there are a couple that are at like a sunset or sunrise or something, and you get some really, I mean, it looks graphically really good, but as you know, I have trouble seeing some of the road sometimes in there, so I got to be especially careful when racing on those tracks because some of that sun glare is just brutal. Okay, final lap. We're actually doing pretty good, and I'm kind of getting accustomed to the lag. Either that or it's kind of ironed out a little bit. Knock on wood. And I'm doing first place. You notice that there is a marker below me, or at the bottom of my hood there, shows me where the car behind me is. So if I see him, I kind of want to keep him in the middle of my hood in this view, because otherwise if he's off to one side really bad, he's usually going to try to cut me off and pass. So try to keep him. Yeah, there we go. How about that? First place. Most excellent. Did a little rubbing there the first lap or so. Trying to pass and a little bit aggressive there. You do earn fame, and when you earn enough fame, that little blue bar there, you level up, and that gives you some extra cash. That gives you some extra of those gold coin things. Ooh, yeah, I took a fair amount of damage there. And we're going to keep going. We're not in the red yet. I usually just kind of roll with it until I do very badly, or until I get into the red, and then I'm like, okay, it's time to repair, because the car just runs like crap. No actual, like, it doesn't seem to affect handling. I think there may be a setting where it's just where you can customize whether it's cosmetic or, affects performance. Yeah, so these are the events here where if you go off the track, you're done. You're DQ'd. Let's see. Let me go back and see. I showed you a drag race. The endurance ones are pretty much like a race, except for you have to pass as quickly as possible because after X amount of time, the last person gets eliminated. So you really want to get to the front of the pack and stay there as quickly as possible so you don't get eliminated. I don't really want to do one of those time. A head-to-head is just it's not a drag race, but it's just a race against one other car. So a lot of these have gotten gold on. Okay, this one. I don't remember if I did one of these or not. Let's see, how is the... Yeah, well... Yeah, that one does need repair, but let's run this really quick. And if I end up really bad, I'm just going to do a repair, and then you'll see what the time limit thing looks like. I'll skip all this intro junk. And you can customize the paint job of your car too. I just haven't really done it because I think it does cost some currency. And unless it's a really butt ugly car or butt ugly color, I just leave it alone. So, being a free-to-play game, I've gotten a lot of money, or a lot of time just being a free-to-play. I've gotten a lot of gameplay out of it. I have paid them. I did buy they had a sale thing, I think it was on one of the holiday things or something. They had a temporary sale, and you get like a bundle of coins and a bundle of cash. So I did do that because I'm like, it's worth paying some money if you really like the game and you need a little bit of extra cash. And that's, I'm okay with that. What I'm not okay with is it's getting to the point now where I either have to wait and wait and wait to do anything if I need to make all of my upgrades and my unlocks, my repairs, all those are taking so much time. Oh, jeez, that was a bad... Get out of my way, dude. That was a bad corner. I slid into that. All of the time-based stuff is starting to take so long that you want to end up using some of those medals or coins, and like I said, that one car that I showed you where I had to use just the alternative currency to unlock, it was so expensive, and I didn't know because it doesn't tell you how you're going to unlock them until you can. And some of the upgrade costs are so high that you have to pay for it. And if you want to play the game at a regular clip, you're going to be shelling out a lot of money over time. And like I said, I have no problem paying for the game. But I don't want to, you can spend, let's say, a brand new game, you get Forza for the 360, you get, or the Xbox One, maybe you get Gran Turismo on the PS3. You pay $60 and you pretty much own the game. What I don't like is that there's a lot of opportunity, especially for people who just, tap on these little transactions and go, oh, okay, I'll buy one here, buy one there. If you're not careful, there's a big opportunity to spend way more than you would actually a full retail game. I mean, if you wanted to outright unlock some of these later cars, a car itself, if you wanted to just pay for the actual currency, one car could cost over $50. And even some of the in-game purchases, after this race, I'll show you the packs that you can buy. You know, there's some that are for like $20, there's some that are for 50, and yes, they have a $99 package. It's kind of nuts, actually. Alrighty, so fourth. Damn, I just cannot place on that one. Okay, so I'm definitely going to repair after this one. That may have something to do with it, because my car is not in optimal shape right now. Come on. Alright. Continue. Yep, okay, definitely in the red, so we're going to repair that. And we'll go back to the main menu here. And as you'll soon see, let me go back into this event. So this one isn't so bad, but I'm going to have to wait over half an hour before I can actually use this car again for this event or any other. And you can see the button that says, hey, you can always unlock it right now if you pay this other in-game thing. But like I said, if you can, don't do that, because do not do that, because you're going to need those resources later for actual paths that are blocked. Like there were some events that there are some events that are tied to a specific car, and if you don't have enough resources to buy that car, you can't do those events. Therefore, you cannot progress in the game. You know, there's been a big stink in the game media in the last week or two about Dungeon Keeper, which is another EA game. This Real Racing 3, I can at least live with to some degree, because I've gotten enough medals and I've gotten enough cars unlocked. There are things that I can do. There are enough diversified events now where I can go back and try to get a higher place, or I can try to unlock more things. So, you know, yes, I have to pause from time to time. You know, I don't have to just play for 5 minutes and, oh, you have to wait or pay. It's not as bad, but this Dungeon Keeper thing, it's like literally you chunk out one block. You're building this dungeon and you have to dig out little blocks and then build it. Literally one block. You have to wait hours at a time. You can't even literally play the game. You can't make one real move. So EA is getting really heavily into this. I'm not even going to call them microtransaction like everybody else does, because it's getting to the point where they're not micro. They're just transactions. They're freaking huge. So up in the right-hand corner, by all my currencies there, there's a store. I can buy these dollars. I can buy these coins or medals, whatever they are, or I can buy packs. So let's just go into one of these. I'm not going to buy any, but look at this. I have all these choices, and yeah, you spend a lot of money, and these are what kill you. $100. So if you want a whole bunch of those, you're going to be paying way more than you would a full console retail game. And I just don't agree with that, because I'm okay if you, like I said, the other thing is that I'm okay if you have to pay for like a new map, a new car, or a new set of tracks or cars, or, levels in a shooter, whatever. But I'm not okay with, let's say you spend $100 on those coins. When you use those coins, that $100 is gone. You don't have anything to show for it other than speeding up like the time of stuff. So, I'm not using my real money to buy a car. I'm buying like just disposable items in the game. And there's a lot of EA games that are really starting to do that. It's like, oh yeah, you can, not just EA. I'm not going to just pick on EA, but they're the worst culprits of it. I don't want to pay for I don't want to pay for consumables. If I'm going to pay extra to a developer for game content, it's going to have to be something that is like a permanent add-on to my game. And that's where I have the biggest problem, because like I said, you can shovel out your real world money for this either type of currency, and once it's gone, it's gone, you know? I mean, yes, you've unlocked cars and events with it, but I don't know, it's gotten really bad. I mean, they're basically taking away, it's gotten to the point where they're taking away your ability to actually play the game, because it's like, oh, well, you can do one race, but then, or two races, but then if you want to do more, you're going to have to repair, or if you want to win this next race, your car is too slow, so you're going to have to upgrade. And in order to do either one of those things, you're going to have to use the cash, the dollars, or you're going to have to use those extra coins. And it's just like those a lot of those Facebook games where it's like you got to wait minutes to hours at a time between each little thing, or you have to pay continuously real world money. Now, remember when I upgraded that car, or when I repaired that car, let's say that I choose to go into another event, and I don't know, I'm not going to actually race it, but let's say that I want to repair this, or I want to, so if I really wanted to top this one off, I cannot do that until the other one is complete. So even if I do multiple races, let's say I race for a half an hour, and I have two cars that I've been using that need repair, so I'm not going to play the game until tomorrow, and I want to upgrade them. I can't just, I'm done, I've earned enough cash before I go to bed or before I quit for the day, I'm going to upgrade them or repair them, both, and then I'm going to quit. Nope, you have to repair one, wait for it to finish, and then you can do something with the other. So that's also kind of a shady deal. I don't like that particular aspect. So that gives you an overview of Real Racing 3. Like I said, overall, it's not a bad game. It is hard to swallow some of this free-to-play nonsense, because I think they do, especially early on when you don't have a whole lot of events unlocked. I mean, look at this. You know, right now I have two here, 3 types of events here, and if I go into each one of these major events, you know, each one of these has a whole bunch of things that I can do in them. So I have plenty that I can do now, but early on I don't. So it can be frustrating, and you're gonna, you'll want to pay, or you'll get frustrated, and you'll not want to wait. And so if that's a problem for you, you're not gonna like this game. I was really frustrated about it. If you saw my Twitter account, I did tweet about it once or twice, because I said, okay, you know what, this is effing ridiculous. I don't like it at all. But I've kind of gotten over it, partly because I've unlocked enough where I have a variety of different things I can do while, like if one car is being repaired, I can go do another class of event, that kind of thing. And I've also seen, like I said, this Dungeon Keeper fiasco. Just go online and look up, on any gaming blog or any website or podcast, people are going to be talking about Dungeon Keeper, because Dungeon Keeper is a far worse, or far better / worse example of, it's a better example of worse free-to-play, just treating the gamer, treating the end user, treating the consumer like absolute garbage, and literally making you not play the game. not being able to play the game. I did download it before I knew I heard about Dungeon Keeper, being a fan of the original 90s game, and I downloaded it because I'm like, oh, cool. And then I found out about all this stuff, and I've only played it once or twice, and I'm not even going to do a spotlight on it because it's just despicable, and I'm going to remove it from my device because it's just, in its current form, it's not worth your or my time. So it makes Real Racing 3 look a lot better by comparison. And like I said, the game does play well. It's a beautiful looking game. I think the graphics on it, the presentation of it, are very good. So just keep in mind you're gonna have some issues with the paywall from time to time, but you can, it's not gonna hurt anything to download the game. It is free to play. If you want to give them a few bucks to, to support the game that you tell them that you do like it, but definitely write a review. We have to, not keep shoveling over money to these developers. We have to not keep, we have to write these reviews and say, look, I like your game, but I'm ranking it lower because your free-to-play model gets in the way of me actually trying to play the game that I really actually like. So, aside from the Facebook games, now that major publishers are doing it, it's still sort of early on, and they're trying to figure out the balance of, play versus pay, and they're definitely not there yet. But I hope this improves. I'm afraid that it is gonna get worse before it gets better. But there you go. I don't want to spend a whole lot of time griping on this whole free-to-play thing and this whole microtransaction thing, but as it is a major component of Real Racing 3 and a lot of iOS and portable games in general, and we've even started to see it creep into console games, especially on the Xbox One side of things from what I've heard. This isn't going away, guys. It's not going away, and it's something we're going to have to deal with, and it's just going to be a matter of, like I said, we've got to let people know with our wallets that we're not going to pay this shit all the time. I'm perfectly okay paying for a game, but there's a line where it's just overdone and it's just not cool. And letting the developers know, letting the publishers know, writing the review, ranking things in the App Store, sending an email to the people just saying, not good. I like your game, but. Anyway, that is Real Racing 3. As you can tell, we've exited the connection here to my iPad. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope the gameplay wasn't too choppy frame rate. I hope that it was actually watchable. But that is Real Racing 3, available in the iOS App Store for free right now. And it's available for the iPhone and iPad. If you're a low vision user, I would definitely recommend playing it on the iPad. It's much easier to see. And I think on a smaller device like the phone, I think the turning sensitivity, if you're using the tilt controls, are a bit easier, and you don't have to exaggerate. It's not as twitchy on the iPad as it is